At 5:13 or 3:15, which is essentially today, the storm officially starts. Let's discuss it. I think today is going to be a lot of fun. However, this is not a fear-mongering video. Being safe is more important than being sorry. Bene, now. Hi there, everybody. I hope today is fantastic for all of you. XRP is around $2. Everything has gone ballistic during the last 7 days. Don't you think that 44% of Ethereum is a bunch of jerks? All of these coins are rising, I guess, but keep in mind that Bitcoin's rise is the reason why everything is rising. However, we are aware that an invisible or hidden hand controls Bitcoin, right? That regulates the code or the numbers on your screen. And this will be cut one day, guys. When the string that governs Bitcoin is severed, it will collapse. The reason we know this, by the way, is because of the collapse, but for the time being, the only way is literally up, people. I believe this to be the truth, and it will become a fact in the not-too-distant future. As you can see, Mr. Poole took this photo. By the way, the price movement has only been upward, and retracements and consolidation have occurred and will occur, correct? Guys, consolidation, retracements. However, it appears as though a parabolic move is forming, correct? According to the CEO of JP Morgan, governments will crash Bitcoin and it will drop to zero, so the only path till, well, the collapse. Take a look at what he says. In other words, if you're stupid enough to purchase Bitcoin, you'll pay for it. One day he says, before it traded to zero, I've also warned folks that it might trade at $100,000. Who is interested in Bitcoin, then? However, since this happened in 2017, it's likely that he has now changed his mind. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Well, but take a look at it. He went on to predict that governments would eventually destroy it. So, I'm wondering if this concealed hand is a government right or if the governments are working together to make it a full-fledged invisible hand. But for the time being, we will continue to rise. The only way out is up until the day it ends, men, regardless of what occurs or which black swan shows up. I think it's quite obvious. This is when things start to get interesting. Alright, this is where we'll make the connections, and this is how, in my perspective, the journey progresses. Not every gadget. Guys, let's get started on the exciting part of XRP for the XRP community. This is now referred to as quite interesting. So, folks, this came from Ripple Riddler, or one of the Riddlers in the community. And 22/5/13 was his profile photo. Alright, isn't that the day for today? However, keep in mind that 513 can result in what? 35 is 513 in reverse, correct? It resembles a mirror. What is it, 5 or 3:15 is when the storm starts, correct? Today is the start of the storm. Today is the start of the storm. What? Take a look at this now. This is strange, Mr. Poole, because it appears to be the case. On May 13th, 2020 at 6:11 p.m., Mr. Poole tweeted about a black swan swimming directly in front of him. Just take a look at this image, gentlemen. Correct. What could the swan I'm moving left and right be pointing at? From dark to light, the swan also makes an intriguing appearance in the west. It's coming into the observer's right field of vision. Assume that it is 5:13 and 6:11 p.m. What does that amount to? 911, correct? An instance of a dark zone is destruction. What is 133, which Mr. Poole indicated at 1:33? The 133rd day is May 13th. Guys, I'm pointing to the same occurrence once more. Well, why is it the case? However, that was years ago. However, do you recall the Riddlers? What is it called? Years later, the Red Alert's tweets and predictions will come to pass. Correct? To demonstrate that the future validates the past and that the past was the future. Guys, once more, until there is a black swan event, cryptocurrency will not dump. Isn't that obvious? As everything is very optimistic. However, I still remember what Mr. said. He told us that the swan doesn't wait and doesn't appear. Doesn't it appear at 8 p.m. to like 100 or something? That's crazy, in my opinion. Elon Musk told us, as usual, to not panic, and that was on May 13th, guys, which again relates to what Mr. Poole just told us, doesn't it? It has the appearance of a delta. Elon Musk affirmed to Mr. Poole that he shouldn't fear since the black swan might show up shortly. Now let's get started. This is where it all comes together and where it really starts. Guys, I'm not sure whether this is true, but I do know that Jim Cramer is contraindicated. Shattering. According to Jim Cramer, banks are the safest place to store your wealth. Finish the quote. Jim Cramer is, as we now know, the youngster who cried wolf. He will be right one day. Are you a gambler? Right now, would you take the chances that he's right? Is the true question here that he's 5%, guys, since that's what I believe? Out of 100, so let's assume that he is incorrect 9 times out of 10. Guys, he is essentially at fault 90% of the time, right? So, Is he right or wrong in this instance? The likelihood that he is incorrect is far greater than the likelihood that he is correct. He now claims that banks are the safest location to save your money, yet this is untrue. This isn't it. Why I said that throughout the fall, XRP was my safe haven asset. The fundamental question is whether banks will be safe. Listen up. I don't think smaller banks will be secure. It won't be safe for medium-sized banks. However, the bigger banks will probably be secure. Why? Due to the wealthy. In what location do they keep their wealth? Correct. Yes, various assets and other things, but they clearly have money in the banks as well, don't they, guys? In addition, they must eventually reset interest rates, correct? The printing of the money and everything else. How are they going to accomplish that? Even Trump claims on Jerome Powell that I am far more knowledgeable about interest rates than he is. Believe me, even though I have a Fed employee that isn't performing well, I won't say that. Guys, you do realize that he is still hating on him? Because he wants interest rates to drop, he doesn't like him at all. Everything moons, including cryptocurrencies, but Jerome isn't doing that because, well, everything is mooning already, so what's the point? There isn't any point, so they're waiting for this kind of thing. Could it be related to banks moving down here soon? It's strange that Goldman Sachs, an asset manager worth $2.8 trillion, cut us to 35% during the recession. So give it a minute. So, before you look at this, there was no recession a month ago even though tariffs were dropping and everyone was calling for a recession. The banks predicted that there would be a higher rate and a greater likelihood of a recession, but that didn't materialize. They are now reducing their odds of a recession, which suggests that the reverse may occur. A contra-indicator once more. Global liquidity will only soar because of a catastrophe that occurred in February 2020. Correct? And guys, I don't know. This is strange. What I'm saying is that I'm bullish, which is strange. I'm optimistic. We keep going until the strings are severed, no matter what. Guys, I'm simply going to end it there. Take a look at that. IMF number 133, correct? The last SW for today's video is Homer Simpson's. Today is your 69th birthday. Correct? 69. Guys, I'm not sure. Very strange. I mean, let's wait and see. However, until the black one shows up, remain as bullish as possible. Whenever that is, today, tomorrow, or in a year. We'll see. Not necessary. Anyhow, my name is Sophie Mess. See you.